Hello ladies and gentlemen, SeKo Starcraft bringing you a game from the ESL, one of their regular micro tournaments. This is game 5 in the finals between Socke and Vortix. I've been on a bit of a casting spree lately, so I just try to pick up the games that I think are more interesting because this is the final match in a best of 5. Whoever wins this ends up winning this micro tournament. So I'm kind of interested to see what happens here. I'm going to speed it up a little bit because we're on Newkirk. And most of the time the openings here are quite standard. Vortix and Socke. Now, Vortix is somebody that I haven't been watching as much of his stuff as I do, say, Lucifron. I think that Lucifron is probably the better playing brother. The Vortix pretty darn solid himself. You could say he's one of the top Euro Zergs that are out there right now. And Socke's just been around a while. Guy's pretty straightforward. Even though it is Newkirk and it is a huge map, we're still seeing the spawning pool first. On this side, we're going to see a Nexus first. It's not really too big of a deal. It's just nice to be able to get this out as a little bit of peace of mind that you don't get cannon rushed. It still just happens way too often. You guys might not believe it. Well, I was just watching some of the WCS group games today, and Jaedong tried to go for the hatch first against the Protoss and still got successfully cannon rushed. So it's one of those things, doesn't matter how good you are, or how well you scout, that if you go in the wrong order, somebody can just build order counter you. So you do have to be pretty careful about that. Queen's going to make her way down there. Fast third base as well, taking one that's further away. Cybernetics course now going down for Socke. I'm enjoying myself a nice glass of rum. It is quite tasty. A little bit of Malibu in there as well. Because we're moving soon, and I've convinced myself that the best way to ensure I don't have to move too much is to drink and eat whatever is left in my house before the time comes. It's my plan, and I'm sticking with it. What the hell? Is there a bad there we go. Is there a bad rally point somewhere? That's a little unfortunate. One stalker out on the map. Just checking what's going down. Overlord's going to come back in again, get shot down pretty fast, but there's not even any tech here worth scouting yet. There's been no investment by Socke, so if he was going to go for a Stargate or something, which did happen, we wouldn't know about it till right now. Now there isn't... speed isn't out yet. There's just enough lings to force the stuff back. Now that there are 3 stalkers and the mothership core, it doesn't have time warp yet. Though when it does, all these lings could get very easily microed off and killed. So you'd have to wait till they get on to creep again. Then you should be able to deal with it a little bit better. Enough lings out here that I think Vortix should be able to hold back any of this pressure fairly successfully. Speed's about 1/3 of the way done. He's going to come up. He probably really wants to scout for this third base. Be able to do that, no problem. He's just got to be careful not to get trapped on this narrow choke point ramp here. It's alright to trade a few lings. All he really wants to do is make sure he keeps pressure. Don't lose the roach though. Oh, he might have got very lucky. Oh boy. Very clutch time warp. I'm surprised he didn't just keep chasing after those stalkers. The speed would have been done before those things could really get away. God, I hate time warps so much. Let's see if he manages to catch up to those stalkers. Speed is just about ready to finish. There it is. This third base is down nice and fast. Cannons are in great position there, so these stalkers should be just fine. Did we get the multiple Stargates? Yes, we did. Kind of surprised I don't see a third. The 3-gate, 3-based Stargate play is... I see it from Alicia a lot. He almost won the entire last WCS just going for that Stargate play against Zerg every time. Pretty effective. You know what I mean? Handful of units down here. Not really going to be able to get too much done, unfortunately. These cannons are going to be able to get a lot of the damage in required. So Yeah, I think Vortix is just going to back out for now. This Spire is on the way. It looks as though these voidrays were being hidden for a while. More gateways going down. Lots of gateways going down. I'm a little OCD, so I find this disorderly placement of buildings really, really upsetting. Nothing here to really deal with this mothership core, unfortunately. So it's just going to get free shots off all day. And what they got, at least the speed's going to be finished up here soon for the roaches. So when he finally sees these voidrays, he shouldn't be in too much trouble of losing a whole bunch of them. Fourth base. Straightforward. Nexus cannon is down. Looks like the Zerg player just wants to try and get a little bit of damage in here. Looks like he did manage to at least get the cannons down, but I don't know if that really necessarily got a lot done. He traded a lot of supply to essentially kill off 3 cannons. Behind this, more roaches and lings. Spire's finishing up soon. It doesn't really have much of a bank, though, if you wanted to throw down like 12 Mutalisks. It's not really going to be able to sit there and trade with that. More Voidrays on the way as well. Army's just rallying out. If we look at the units, it looks as though, yeah, the Zerg player is at the macro economy that he wants, so he's not worried anymore. Still some more probes coming down, and there is the 3rd Stargate. The infamous 3 Stargate. Not sure if Vortix really wants to try and get damage done, if he's just using this to maybe try to keep the Protoss in his base as long as he can. Oh, don't lose the sentries. That's a pretty successful piece. Got a few zealots, few sentries. Expensive units. Another base going down. This is spotted right now. Does he even have... Yes, he does have spore crawlers on all of his bases. That'll keep him quite protected. Corruptors. So it looks like it wants to go mass air versus air right now. Mutalisks and Corruptors to fill out the rest of their supply. On this side, air upgrades, charge for the ground, and 3 Voidrays at a time. I would say the advantage is currently with Socke because of the army that he has, but the more mutas and corruptors that pop out, the advantage that he has is probably going to disappear pretty quickly. He's not going up to a 4th base, whereas the macro capacity with all these hatcheries, injects still happening where he can. Trying to get more gases in place too immediately. He just wants the gases to be able to support a major air army. Just a sprinkling of mutas right now, nothing too much, but he should get a lot of early damage in, or at least force a really good pull if Socke is paying attention well enough here. Let's see how many probes he can get before the pull. Oh, move, move, move. Great pull, quite fast. It's only got 1, 4, 7. That's pretty good. Looks as though the Protoss army is way out of position to deal with this, though, unfortunately. This might just turn into a base race for the final game. You can't really ask for a much better way to go about it. Killing off all of the starports is going to be really important now. That's kind of the advantage that Socke could have in remaxing on air units. That actually took out a lot of gateways. Is he going to go home to defend? That looks like it. And I would have been okay with the base race, personally. I think because of all the bases that Vortix has, the base race probably would have been more effective. The army from Socke here, though, is starting to get split up, and he's going to have to be careful about that. 10 Voidrays versus that. Oh, there's more coming in from all sides. Voidrays are awesome, but I think this is just going to be too much. I think it's going to be too much. Still has quite a few Voidrays left. Looks like he wants to focus down the Corruptors so that way the Phoenixes can take care of the Mutas. Man, I thought there was way too much stuff from Vortix for him to be able to lose this. Oh, man. problem is he didn't even take out the Stargates. If he took out the Stargates, there wouldn't be any reinforcements in the air coming out for Socke. Just trying to bait him back at least into the spore crawlers for right now. Roaches, what are those gonna do? Go and counterattack with them or something. Well, at least he can clean up the stalkers, I suppose. This is pretty messy for Vortix. Only 3 voidrays left. 4 phoenixes. 5. Now more coming in. So once again, he didn't take out those starports. If he took out the starports, I think he would have been able to win that game. Even if he went for the base trade, I think he would have been better off. He had a better bank, and the only thing that was going to keep... Because he could snipe all these probes from the back. The only thing that was going to keep Socke in this game was more air production, because that's where all of his upgrades went. Yeah. Oh well. Socke managed to pull that off, showing the power of the voidrays. That means that the series and this micro tournament goes to Socke.